Circle Open Chat. Season 7 of The Circle just got started, but alliances are already forming, showmances are already in the making, and the catfish are already outing themselves. Send message. Now, I wouldn't personally consider myself a super fan of Survivor, but I do casually watch. And I do love when people play a harder game, a strategic game. My biggest critique of last season's Circle is the fact that people were playing too nice. Everybody except for QT, I felt like she was playing a harder strategic game. But she was mixed in with a bunch of people who weren't, so it didn't end up working out for her. Everyone was just all peace and love and butterflies. No, I want to see y'all backstab each other. Like, I need some medieval times level betrayal. Now, funny enough, I do think we're going to get some type of hard gameplay because this cast seems like that's the type of cast they are. But sometimes the people in the Circle be lying. They don't really be here to play, they be here to, make friends. Which, I'm not saying that's bad, I'm just saying I prefer a little bit more strategy. A lot of these players are forming alliances with every single person they meet. So they're gonna have no choice but to backstab somebody because everybody's their friend. And everybody's in an alliance with them. The twins, aka Gianna, are forming alliances with Savannah, Rachel, Deb, Kevin, Darian, Madelyn. Like, how y'all got alliances with everybody? So if they don't get eliminated before it comes time to backstab someone, they're gonna have to do it. Now, when it comes to Rachel, aka Deb, I knew right away that she was gonna be a character. She came in kooky as hell. She was excited about tchotchkes, which I didn't even know what that was. I had to Google it, and apparently it's like a tiny trinket. And she brought her husband on a pillow, so I mean, that's cute, but also a little weird. Honestly, I feel like she would have done great as herself, but she's deciding to catfish instead. She has that bubbly personality that does really, really well on The Circle. And she's a mom, and people love a mom figure on this show too. But you know what? Rachel, Deb, is a perfect example of why catfishing as someone younger can go bad, and it can go bad really quickly. She had absolutely no idea what a thirst trap was, because anyone over the age of 40 probably doesn't know what a thirst trap is. So she took her best and cutest guess, by the way. This is a fair guess if I didn't know what a thirst trap was. And she posted a picture of Rachel drinking because thirsty. You gotta love the logic there. Bless her heart, man. And then she did it again with the multiple choice facts game.
That's not good. I'm thinking my game is going very poorly.
My instinct seeing that is that Rachel is way older.
Not knowing that Elon Musk named his kid E=MC² is only something that older people wouldn't know, because everybody my age and younger is sitting here like, why the hell would you name your child after the quadratic formula? And this is probably less about her being older and more about her just being scared and saying the first thing that came to her mind. But she completely went off the rails in episode 3.
Message, hashtag, yes, I'm that bitch. Send message.
See, this is an example of someone thinking that they're being strategic when really they're just being reckless. Rachel has spent so much of her time flipping through this book looking for notes. But are the notes in the room with us? Because I haven't seen her get one question right that she referenced that book for. One thing The Circle is really good at, though, is putting us in our feels. And of course, is doing that this season. Rachel asks Savannah about the brain surgery, which I'm surprised not more people asked her about. And then she goes into the surgery and all this, and Rachel opens up to us, the audience, because obviously she's not playing herself, and says that she had a son who was 22 and passed away when he was 22, which is the same age that Savannah is. So, of course, she's going to have feelings around that. Stuff like this is always a reminder that behind the game, there are actual real people with real feelings and real emotions and real issues that they have to process. So it brings back that sense of reality to reality TV. Hey, hashtag Circle fam, it's Nae. Welcome back to my little corner of YouTube. This video will contain spoilers for The Circle Season 7, episodes 1 through 4. So if you haven't seen them yet and you do not want spoilers, save this video and come back after you do. You are about to hear my thoughts on episodes 1 through 4, but of course I want to hear yours, so feel free to drop your thoughts below if you do want to participate in the conversation. And give this video a like before you go, so I know you enjoyed it. If you want to keep this conversation going after this video, feel free to head on over to my Discord server. It's a place for us to chit chat outside of YouTube, and it's free, so why not? The link is in the description box. Let's talk about Gianna, aka the twins. When they first came on, I felt like I had been transported to the Jersey Shore. I know that outside of The Circle, their entire life is GTL. Bus, dinner, club, bar, another club, no sleep, like that's them. One of them was ready to start alliances literally from the second they stepped foot in The Circle. Luckily, the other brother was there to be like, let's roll it in. Let's just take a second, because we all know that this is a strategic game, of course, but you can't go all in at once with this, because then people are going to think you're being too aggressive. I think overall, they honestly made the best decision to go in together, because it seems like they're going to be a good balance, because they just have that twin symmetry, or whatever it's called, going on. Particularly, like I said, with the circle, you tend to get softer game players than you would with Survivor, or for that matter, even for The Mo. The Mo is another Netflix reality show that's a prize show like this, a game show like this, where strategy is super important. But even on a show like that, you're going to get people who are coming in hard to play the game. And you're not seeing that with The Circle. This is very much for people who are just like, ha ha ha, it would be cute to play a game show. But they don't really want to have to go in. Now, the twins come in last place in that first ranking, which doesn't surprise me too much because they're two people trying to play as one person who is also of a different gender. So it's like, it's going to take them a minute to figure that out. Now, they get blocked, but to everyone's surprise, it doesn't even end up mattering because the circle has brought us disruptor mode this season. I love disruptor mode. I love that you don't know whether it's going to be good or bad. So every time you pick it, you're taking a gamble. Now, they are the first people to choose disruptor mode and they end up being immune from the blocking. How perfectly did that work out for them? Imagine they actually win this season and it's all because they didn't get blocked that first night when they shouldn't have even been there anymore. That would be pretty crazy. Let's talk about my girl Jadejaha. I'm obsessed. Have you seen her skin? Like, sis, how does it feel to be God's favorite? Now, y'all already know I'm gonna love her because, of course, representation matters. But she's also a black woman in tech, a black woman in cyber, and she's experienced homelessness, which people who watch my channel often know that I have as well.
Like, I didn't grow up having a lot of money. I went through homelessness. Like, it was bad. I feel like I've always had to work 3 times harder based on the cards that I've been dealt.
So boom, me and Jadejaha are trauma bonded. I do worry about her and Darian. They get a little distracted too early on with this showman. I love Darian. I love the southern accent. I love that he's a teacher. And I loved his tequila pickup line. I thought it was cute.
My favorite drink is a tequila sunrise.
Because when the sun rises, I'm ready to drink tequila.
I like them together. But sis is already ready to meet him at the altar in her white dress. I really need her to keep her head in the game. Showmances never work out. It's always going to force people to view you as a unit. And in a game like this where strategy and blockings take place, you don't want to be a unit with anybody. I don't care how much you like them. You very much want to be seen as an individual because if people stop liking that person, by default, they're going to stop liking you. You can't move as one in a game like this unless you're playing as one like the twins are. I mean, they over here flirting so damn much. I felt like I was watching an intimate moment between a couple. Like, damn, y'all get a room. Next we have Kevin. Now, Kevin just seems like your standard typical 23-year-old. He likes to party, he's just vibing, and I love that for him. The twins thought that Kevin would fall for Gianna, and he does, because like they said, she's a smoke show. And right away, Kevin is like, oh my gosh, she's so amazing. So I guess they were kind of right about that. But he didn't let it throw him off his game too much, which I'm actually kind of surprised by because he comes off as a little chaotic. Hopefully, he does a little growing up during his time in the circle because he said his mama is still doing his laundry. You pushing 25. Let's get that together. Now, Kevin has another brewing showmance with Savannah, aka 2001 Paris Hilton. So glad to see my girl Paris on this season of The Circle. That's hot. Now, Savannah is ditzy, but it works for her. She was making up her own acronyms and everybody was like, girl, an acronym has to be universally known or it doesn't make sense. And she's like, but I understand them, so we're good. She was gonna be fun to watch on the show, so I'm sad that she's gone. Her boo Kevin became the second disruptor. And when that happened, I was yelling at my TV screen. I was like, oh, this is amazing. He's gonna be a disruptor and he's invited to this welcome party with the 2 new people, but the twist is gonna be that the 2 new people are not gonna know that he's there. I thought that would have been a better twist for the disruption. Like he gets to sit in on the conversation in secret and nobody knows. Whether it was the welcome party or another conversation. That would have been really good. That should be a disruption option. Netflix, put that in for next season. But instead he gets to go to the welcome party, meet the new people, and he gets to invite 2 others. He invites Darian, who is happier than I think I've ever seen anybody on this show, and Gianna, which is confusing because Savannah is supposed to be his #1 pick. As a direct result of that welcome party though, Kevin shoots up to the #1 spot, and now he's an influencer. So we really are starting to see how disruptor mode can be beneficial. Now I expected a little bit more stand up from somebody with a name like K-Fern, but we didn't get that from him. He had the #1 influencer spot, which means that at the end of the day, he gets to decide who gets blocked. But he let Gianna, aka the twins, talk him into a compromise. When his gut reaction was to get rid of Rachel, which that's what he should have done, he got rid of Savannah instead, who I don't even think was a threat and wouldn't have been a threat. And the twins were just mad that she didn't say sorry for initially blocking them that night that they got immunity.
Savannah, on the other hand, didn't even have the decency to reach out and explain herself.
Yeah, I love that.
Hashtag thumbs down.
So really, it was all pettiness. That wasn't even a strategic decision. Now, if I'm looking at it from a strategy point of view, Kevin probably agreed to block Savannah so he wouldn't ruin the alliance with Gianna, which of course is connected to the alliance with Darian and Madelyn and Garret, because again, they had that welcome party. So I guess we're starting to see the building blocks of where loyalties are starting to lie, because they all seem very locked in, at least as of right now. But I really do think it would have been okay once everybody saw that Rachel was a catfish. They would have been like, great, we got a catfish out. Not that that's the goal. A catfish has won and can very much win this game. But the way that I kind of see this game is that there are two different games going on. One game is that you're looking for catfish. The second game is that you're trying to win. So I see it as like two different things. So yeah, I think it would have been okay once people realized that Rachel was a catfish. But now, not blocking Rachel is actually backfiring on him, because people think that his word can't be trusted, and it's looking like his word can't be trusted. After all was said and done, we did get a fantastic circle chat after Savannah got blocked.
Loyalty means everything to me. My word is my bond. Close emoji. I never had an alliance with Savannah, so it wasn't me. Crying face emoji. Send message.
Oh my gosh, Gianna. This whole loyalty thing. It wasn't like I blocked Savannah by myself.
Now we also have Andy/Heather. I like Heather. She's a tour manager for rock and metal bands, which if y'all don't know, I am a recovering mosh pitter. So when I saw that, I was like, right up my alley. This is my bestie. Also, very shameless plug for this punk band that I like. If you like punk music, even if you don't, you'll probably still like them. They're really good. Called 40 Feet Tall. I have all of their greatest hits in a playlist on my Spotify. So check that out. And also check out all the other playlists, because aside from YouTube videos, I'm also really into curating playlists. So if you're a music lover like me, add me on Spotify. I don't make music. I just like making playlists. Just disclaimer. I'm not trying to become a rapper or anything. I feel like a lot of people end up like trying to become rappers. I don't know. No shade. I'm just saying, like, I can't rap. Now, Heather is catfishing as Andy because she feels like she comes off a little too bro-ish as it is, and that if she plays as herself, people are going to think she's catfishing because she sounds too much like a guy. And I see the strategy in that. I get it. Now, let's talk about the two new arrivals to the villa. We have Madelyn and Garret. Madelyn does OF and is unapologetic about it. Love that for her. I also feel like Madelyn came to play the game. She ends up being a disruptor with Rachel. And what they get is that they have to swap profiles until the next blocking. Now, from what I can see, a blocking happens every 2 days or so they have to spend 2 days as that other person. Now, if the swap works like I think it does, which maybe it doesn't because I got the last disruptor mode wrong, but if it works like I think it does, this is a great opportunity to sabotage someone. You can cheat and lie and get on everyone's bad side as the other person and get that other person eliminated. They see that as a negative, but I kind of see that as a positive. Make everyone hate the person you're pretending to be. You don't have to tell them that's what you're doing, but you do that and then you secretly get them eliminated. That's one less person you got to worry about. Unless I'm wrong on the rules, y'all let me know. Last, but of course not least, we have Garret. He's a gay man who was raised in a conservative environment, so he's going to be the gayest of the gay men. He said off top, he's here to be a strategic player. And I hope he sticks to that, because like I said, people in the circle have a tendency to be like, I'm coming in here to be crazy, and they just end up being teddy bears. I think we're going to get a really good season. What do y'all think? They got them drinking out of these goblets doing the thirst game. People are already starting to backstab each other. The catfish can't keep it together. It's going to be a good one. I'll be here next week to discuss the next batch of episodes. And until then, I'll see y'all later. Bye. All right, let's go to the store. And we're going to hashtag Circle Fam. I like that as an opening. Pretty much, I felt like I was watching the internet. Not 2021. FN is unapologetic.
I ain't got nothing.